We got some sports Kita. Some libs are waking up. Internet reacts as comic Michael Rappaport says voting for Trump is on the table after seeing migrants beat NYPD. I just want to say this real quick. I can't remember who tweeted it. It might have been Michael Malice, so apologies if I don't get the attribution right. But someone said, imagine what it must feel like to be in the corporate press where after nearly a decade of calling Donald Trump a fascist, far-right white supremacist, you find that most people in this country intend to vote for him. I saw that and I'm like...
Cernovich.
That was Cernovich?
Maybe not. I know what you're talking about. I know that tweet.
Yeah.
I saw it.
So it's a great point to be made. The power of the media narrative is gone. They can say whatever they want about Trump. Nobody cares. And now you've got Michael Rappaport, who spent his time complaining online about big dick Donald Trump. That's what he would say over and over again. And now he's made a video saying voting for him is on the table. And it's because...
it's a really fun video.
It is. There's a bunch of issues. But mostly, this past week, you got criminal aliens beating cops. Hold on, let me start over. You got criminal aliens mercilessly beating NYPD. And Michael Rappaport in Midtown, and they get arrested and are released right away.
Alvin Bragg, who has charged Donald Trump with like 30-something felonies, won't even say what the felonies are, released these guys. And he was like, oh, we couldn't tell from the video exactly who they were. But did you see this thing, Tim? McConnell is now saying, don't vote for the bill.
McConnell is saying don't vote for it.
Yeah,
Alex. It must be really bad if McConnell's saying don't vote for it.
McConnell is telling Republicans to block the Langford-Schumer borderless bill.
We'll jump to that, but let me play the Michael Rappaport video. I don't know. Is it too crude? Let's.
Oh, it's fun.
I think he's funny. I think he's a funny guy.
This is why when I say voting for pig Donald Trump is on the table, voting for pig Donald Trump is on the table.
Wait. Why is he censoring dick?
The other day in New York City, 6 illegal aliens jumped a New York City cop in
2 of them, right? 2 cops.
NYPD's finest. They jumped a New York City cop in Times Square and were arrested and released without bail. I know it's a city thing. I know it's a state thing. I know all that. I know all that. Okay? Stay with me. Released without bail. Came out of the courtroom on some Tupac raising the middle finger with the Detroit Red Wings jerseys. What the is the world coming to? If you could be from another country, beat up a cop in New York City and walk out with no bail, what the is the world coming to?
Dude, he's right. Like,
yeah, Alvin Bragg needs to be impeached.
But this is not just like some cops got into a fight. Dude, I have seen Occupy activists push a cop and get assault on an officer charges, and they're in deep trouble. These people, like Michael Rappaport, has come from another country, assault officers, and ain't no big deal.
I said it last time I was in the show, and I'm going to say it again. There one of two things is happening here with Michael Rappaport. Either A, the Biden campaign stopped paying him, right? But we have McConnell saying not to vote for this bill, and Michael Rappaport saying that voting for pig dick Donald Trump is on the table. Maybe the adrenochrome supply has run out, and these people are starting to come back to real life. Maybe it's true. I
think that's probably the case. Reason is not an accident.
No.
Reasonable people are the reason this country exists in the first place.
Definitely not adrenochrome, Ian.
It's not adrenochrome.
Come on, adrenochrome is reason. Reason is taking hold of these people.
This is why I said that line about imagine what it must be like to be a corporate journalist who for a decade said Trump was a fascist white supremacist, and today people intend on voting for the guy. More than half the country. That's why, I love telling the story about the dude I met in D.C. who had Trump derangement syndrome, because part of me, next time I encounter something like this, I'm not going to try and argue with the guy, give a point. I'm just going to say, I'm on the right side of history. That's what I'm going to say to him. I'm going to say, I'm on the right side of history. You're on the wrong side of history. We got the polls. So you're in the weird minority of weirdos who don't watch the news. I don't know what you're going on about. But Michael Rappaport, if he's saying it, wow, we won.
To Tim's point, think about how many people, when they get into the voting booth and they're alone, they'll actually vote for Donald Trump, right? They would never admit it, but when they actually got into the booth, they'd actually check for Donald Trump. If people like this guy are articulating that it's acceptable to conceive of yourself voting for Donald Trump, I feel like there's probably a lot of people that this gives them permission. You know what I mean? People that don't feel confident
this gives them
in
permission to vote for Trump.
Exactly.
Because
they
now,
feel like now I can. Someone else said it. I can do this, and he noticed too. It's not just me. I'm not crazy. Maybe Donald Trump. That's what I think. A lot of people feel.
So the next time I'm at a poker table and some guy with Trump derangement syndrome starts yelling at me, I'm just gonna go, listen, I'm gonna tell you why voting for Pig Dick Donald Trump is on the table, because New York City's finest were beat up. Let's play the rest of the video.
What the is the world? I know, Mayor Adams, you're from Brownsville, Brooklyn. I know this. Like, what the have I gotten myself into? Stay with me. On the same day that happens, Cadaver Joe Biden issues an executive order about 4 quote-unquote settlers in Judea, Samaria, a.k.a. the West Bank. Some troublemakers, 3 of the 4 have already been arrested. You issue an executive order about 4 troublemaking f***ups who've already been arrested in Judea, Samaria, while there's a war going on, while there's 100+ hostages still being held in Gaza. You're talking about that, but you got nothing to say about beating up cops in New York City, the greatest city on earth. Maybe it's not. Maybe my city is not the greatest city on earth anymore.
Maybe.
Whoa! Here's the important thing. He's wearing a Star of David. Yeah. One of the things that really shifted Rappaport was the Israel Hamas conflict, and when he's coming out and being like, "Why is Joe Biden more concerned with the West Bank instead of our cops?" That's a huge
deal. Yeah.
Crap! Like the first thing came out was, what's going on with these activists who are anti-Israel? Now he's actually like, yeah, I care about Israel, but this here is more important. He's being pushed further and further. I want to give him a shout out. Last time we talked about him, he has that really funny video where he gets hit in the head with a snowball.
The funniest video online. Yeah.
I know, it's one of the best because he's self-aware. I think he's a funny guy, and I respect it.
What if the whole thing was just a troll?
It was. The video of him getting hit with a snowball?
No, I mean prior to that. All the shit about him, hating the right and Big Dick Donald Trump and all that. What if it's all just a big giant call?
It would be great if he just came out
hilarious.
Really calm. Like, I just want to say to everybody that I never really hated Trump. I just thought it was funny to yell and make fun of him, and I'm voting for him, and thank you so much. And they put on a MAGA head.
Yeah, after this video, I'm almost positive that they took his bag away. He's not getting money from the Biden campaign anymore for sure.
But yeah, one of the big takeaways of this was he's actually mad that Joe Biden focused too much on Israel. That's the crazy thing. Did you guys hear about Biden saying Netanyahu is a bad dude or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's trying to win these votes back.
Yeah, I think that was clearly leaked just to try and appease the progressive left and get them back on. See, I think Netanyahu's not amazing too, you guys, right? We're all on the same team still,
He's a bad dude.
Come on, man.
Runs some bad boys.
But I think that was such an obvious dumb leak, purposeful.
I think once you've won over Michael Rappaport, it's like
that's it.
But this is actually it's a good point you were saying, Phil, about giving permission. Because I made the joke about being at the table and saying, next time I'm in public, I'll say something like that. But I guarantee there's probably a lot of guys who are default liberal, don't pay that much attention, but have been given permission. Yep. Now they can still insult Trump, but they can be like, yeah, Pig Dick Donald Trump, But I got to be honest, man. Like, I might vote for him because, dude, like Joe Biden, and he's a cadaver, you know what I mean? And,
Yep.
They can't. They're not going to be able to put Joe Biden up in this election. Something's going to change soon.
What would they give him? I mean, who would they put up instead? Everybody hates Kamala.
Yeah,
and she only has one phrase.
You know who it is? It's going to be the Antichrist, Newsom from California. That's
you think.
There's got to be a way to get around Kamala though, and Kamala is literally kryptonite to a white male progressive.
Yeah,
what is he going to say?
How is he really? But she makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. She is. Everyone knows that she is like the worst. Absolute worst person the Democrats could possibly field, but at the same time, they can't do anything with her. They can't attack her. She's the first woman. She's got multiracial. I mean, she
multiracial
is
female,
untouchable. And if you do, she absolutely will turn it on you and call you. You're the racist. You're the blah blah blah.
Yep.
She will use that at the drop of a hat.
I think that's done.
Kamala
I don't think
not on the left. It's not.
I don't think anybody cares cares about being called a racist
Kamala Harris
anymore.
withheld evidence
I just don't think
when
it
she
even matters.
worked in San Francisco. She withheld evidence
Yes.
that kept somebody on death row that she knew was innocent.
Like a lot of there's like a lot of black
They can't
progressives
say
who
anything
hate
to her.
Kamala Harris
Libby.
because she locked up more black people.
Oh, way more black.
You know,
people, yeah.
based on like
But
crap
she also
evidence.
purposely
Yes.
withheld evidence, knowing that somebody was innocent to keep him on death row.
None of that matters.
And none of
to
that
the
matters to the
Democrats.
left at all.
I don't
So,
even think that she has the ability to see what can be. Never mind being unburdened by what
I
might
believe
have
it's going to
been.
be Newsom. I do. I really believe that he's going to do something.
I don't see. I just tell me how they get him. How do they get her out of the way? Tell me how they do it, and maybe because I don't think that Newsom. Like I think that Newsom is far more of a threat to not only to the United States but to like Donald Trump and to Republicans. But how do you get him into the position to run?
Well, you'd have to get her
without-
to resign, but
How?
she's power hungry.
How?
She
Exactly.
only
Way
had
she's
3% of the vote when she was running on the Democratic
horrible,
ticket. You know, when she was
did
trying to
not
get
poll well
that ticket.
at
Yeah,
all.
So, look, like I said,
You know who is polling
3%.
Not it's.
Decently,
I don't think that
Nikki
Kamala
Haley.
Harris is good, but I just don't see the path to
Vice
get her
president.
into the position.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.